Here's our tail of the tape for the welterweight championship of the world. Harut Grigorian, 5'11", a 72-inch reach. Alim Nabiev, 6'2", with a half-inch reach advantage.
It's Harut Grigorian that has 58 fights to 55 of Nabiev, very close. But the big factor in this fight is that 70% KO ratio of Grigorian. And you can see the fight metrics. Average time Nabiev, more of your decision style.
大家好，老师从业中医男科30余年，帮助了数千名海内外华人朋友通过中药调理重回男性雄风。如果你也存在房事时间短、勃起无力、硬度差、中途疲软、肾虚、前列腺炎等问题，现在就加中医老师微信574-993-200，纯中药，一人一方，治根治本，帮助你持续坚挺20至40分钟，补肾壮阳，延时助勃，彻底告别快男软男。记住微信574-993-200。
With his movements and stance switches, I feel an advantage for him could be in his kicks and knees, and he really needs to stay away from the corners and off the ropes.
Harut Grigorian, the champ, a slight favorite. -130, Alim Nabiev, even money here tonight to take the gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, this championship bout once again scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Let's meet the challenger. He's a 2-time Russian Grand Prix champion. Comes to Birmingham on a 6-fight winning streak. His professional record, 49 wins with just 6 losses, 21 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He is undefeated in 3 prior glory appearances. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, 1.88 meters, and he weighed in at fight time at 169.1 pounds, 76.7 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Azerbaijan, he is the #1 contender in the world. He is Alim, the Professor Nabiev. His opponent standing on my left and fighting out of the white corner, a world tournament champion who makes his first defense of the belt. His record, 47 wins with 11 losses and 33 knockouts. At 5 feet 11 inches tall, 1.80 meters, he weighed in at 168.9 pounds, 76.6 kilos. Fighting tonight out of Armenia, he is the reigning and defending glory welterweight champion of the world. He is Harut Grigorian. The third man inside the ropes in charge of this championship bout is Paul Nichols.
Gentlemen, you understand the rules that you're fighting to. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Do you have any questions? World title fight, I expect you to fight for it. Good luck to both of you. Judge,
can Alim Nabiev come in and pick up 4 of the most unlikely wins a fighter's ever pulled off? Holskin, Doumbé, and now Harut Grigorian? Or can this Armenian nightmare claim another victim just like he did to win the title by knocking out Myrtle Grunhart? Scheduled for 5 rounds in the welterweight division.
Let's see if Harut might be a little bit more patient knowing it's 5 rounds. And he knows how tricky Nabiev is. So he needs to stay patient. And when he has that opportunity, you'll see that forward pressure. But watch for Nabiev to switch stance, move, fight on angles, and probably look to mix in some good knees up the middle.
Nabiev trained in the mountains at 3,200 meters in Russia to get ready for this fight. Said he's in the shape of his life, the best shape of his life. Harut Grigorian always ready to go. But Joe, the conventional wisdom says if Harut wins, it should be by an early knockout. If Nabiev wins, it'll be by a decision.
Yeah, the later rounds seem to favor Nabiev because he's more relaxed. Fights on the outside. Doesn't throw everything with power. He sets things up well.
Usually we see Harut let his hands go halfway through round #1. He has not done that.
Yeah, some fighters, especially who are aggressive, once they fight 5 rounds, they feel like they need to pace themselves a little bit more, which you do, but you got to do it at the right times.
Harut's last fight was scheduled for 5, but his knockout over Myrtle Grunhart didn't even take him around. Maybe he knows he's in for a long night and needs to conserve some energy.
Nabiev always switching stances and did a good job at blocking Harut's low kicks.
Now it's Nabiev opening up a little bit.
Yep, a lot of good knee strikes in that. Even when Harut Grigorian fought Myrtle Grunhart, that knee and that flying knee is a factor that Grigorian's always working at defending against.
Good body shot from Harut with 20 seconds to go in round 1. High kick. Now go for round 1. Things got heated towards the end there. Nabiev thinks he won the round.
Yeah, close round still. I mean, we saw a little bit more patience from Grigorian.
Let's look at some of Nabiev's work there in round 1, Joe.
Yeah, he did some good work with his kicks and his knees, really planning on trying to land those knees. So mixed with his punches, and he knows Grigorian's going to come forward and counter hard, so he's waiting for the knee. Nabiev also trying to mix in some good high kicks with his stance switching, trying to feint with that step, land the knee, but he needs to be careful stepping in because Grigorian does have that power style, waiting for Nabiev to come inside.
Nabiev said he was going to wait for Harut to push forward, and then we'll wait for him to make a mistake and punish him. Is that what you've seen so far?
Well, not yet, because Harut isn't opening up yet. Maybe when Harut opens up, he starts leaving openings. That's when Nabiev's going to try to do that.
If you're just joining us, the scores you see there at the bottom of your screen are the official judges' scores, and all 5 gave it to Harut Grigorian.
Yeah, it was close round regardless, but maybe it's Harut's power really trying to sway the judges. A lot of what Nabiev threw was blocked by Harut, and vice versa.
Whoa, and a couple shots left for Harut, and that stood Nabiev right up.
That's a good strategy from Harut. Don't stop at one punch. Keep following it up.
But this is where Grigorian could gas himself out a little bit, overexerting himself. Oh, and that jab kind of stood up Harut. And now they're just slugging it out here. This is not what Nabiev said he would do. It's not what he should do.
No, but he did do well in that exchange as well, because maybe he felt that he rocked Grigorian.
Very entertaining start to round 2 here.
I do like what Grigorian did there. He opened up a little bit more, brought Nabiev into a fight. Take it out of that technical round.
Time in, fight!
Now Harut's coming forward.
Yeah, this is Harut Grigorian now.
Oh, and again, Nabiev buckled against the ropes.
This is where Grigorian might have to mix in the body as well. That's how he was able to get that finish with Grunhart. He mixed the body, then went upstairs. Nabiev being the shorter fighter.
Nabiev taking a lot more damage than his corner would like to see here.
That's good ring control in this round so far from Grigorian.
Nicky Hemmers on the left of your screen. He's the trainer for Harut Grigorian. In Grigorian's championship win, he took a punch to the face afterwards. Harut was celebrating and just jacked Nick Hemmers' jaw.
Yeah, Nick Hemmers knows it's a difficult fight because Nabiev's super tricky, so they knew coming into this it was going to be an extremely tough fight.
Break! What?
Half a minute to go. Left hand there from Harut. Boy, some wind-up slugging shots for Grigorian.
Nabiev back to the knee. I think that could be his best strike. Stay defensive up top, defend the power punches of Harut, and deliver those knees down the middle.
And boy, we've seen Harut turn his back before. He got knocked out by Murder Grunhart the last time he did it. But a good round for Harut Grigorian, who may very well be up 2-0 right now.
Yeah, that pressure really paid off in that round and really committing. And what I liked is that he's not just throwing single punches. He's putting his punches in bunches. And that's why he had really good success in that mid-range. Nabiev came forward, but you can see 2, 3, 4, 5. He's following it up. He's not just relying on single shot power. He knows he's got to put a string of combinations together if he really wants to catch Nabiev.
Nabiev got his shots in as well, Joe.
Yeah, he did land some good shots, but the judges have to be favoring that forward pressure. Now, Nabiev fighting backwards, but this is where things started to get a little bit wild. Nabiev threw that front kick, but you see those wide looping punches from Harut. Not many of them landing, but if one of those do, somebody's going out.
Fight! Round 3 now between Alim Nabiev and Harut Grigorian. All 5 judges gave round 1 to Grigorian. The same scores for round 2. So Nabiev, if there are no knockdowns, has to win the next 3 rounds.
Well, on paper, it seems that, like we mentioned, Nabiev is the favorite as the rounds go on. But Grigorian seems to be controlling the pace, not overcommitting. He'll attack with everything he got, and then he takes a little rest period, circles, moves. And then when he has that opportunity, he lays it out there.
You think Nabiev's a bit surprised by the power that he's feeling from Grigorian?
I think so, but he's not intimidated by it because he's still trying to walk forward. Most likely looking to land knees.
Strikes landed by zone. You can see Nabiev go into the body. Grigorian up top.
And it's Nabiev wanting to fight in mid-range. He wants to fight in this close range, which is surprising. So that just shows he's not too intimidated by Grigorian's power. Good right hand, left hook from Grigorian. Again, putting things in combination seems to be his best strategy for his punches.
Grigorian said he hasn't been the full 5 rounds in a fight in years. And says, I don't plan on this one going 5 rounds either. And he's swinging like it.
Maybe Nabiev is trying to wear Grigorian down with that forward pressure.
Whoa, a spinning back fist just misses for Harut Grigorian. It's been a great performance so far for the champion. Nabiev, though, very much in the fight, despite being down 2-0.
Nabiev does have some solid kicks. He is relying heavily on his boxing and his knees, but mixing in some solid round kicks could play well. Is Harut slowing?
His body language says yes, Joe.
Yeah, he isn't looping those punches as much now.
Oh, he still has plenty of power, though. Nabiev feels like he got round 3. I'm not sure about that, Joe. And if he didn't, he's going to need a knockdown.
Yeah, I don't know if he got that round. Grigorian was still able to counter well. Although Nabiev was pressuring, I didn't really see too much damage or too much landing or doing anything that really could have put Grigorian out.
This fight's beginning to heat up, and this summer will be scorching hot. Look at our schedule. We will be heading to 5 different events in 10 weeks on 3 continents. New York, Denver, Shenzhen, China, Chicago, and then Amsterdam at the Johan Cruyff Arena on September 29th. Can't wait to hit Madison Square Garden to start things July the 20th.
Here it's getting slippy. It's getting slippy.
We enter the championship rounds now. Harut Grigorian, the reigning champion, wearing the white gloves. Alim Nabiev in the black. All 5 judges score round 3 for Grigorian, so Nabiev needs a knockdown here in the 4th or 5th round.
Let's see if Harut has the gas tank to keep threatening with his power shots. But I know for Grigorian, the plan was to win the first 3 rounds.
Nice knee from Nabiev. Maybe his best strike of the fight.
Yep, and it's going to be from the knees. I feel if he catches Grigorian, it's going to come from a solid knee.
Nick Himmer's the trainer for Harut Grigorian, said that's what he was most worried about. Straight knees from Nabiev.
Yep, same thing with his fight with Grigorian. And they've been really working on pivoting and angling out off that center line.
We've seen in the past Nabiev taunting and dancing in the ring. Tonight, all business.
Yeah, his taunting outside fighting is what got him those 3 big wins, but we're seeing a different side of him. He's now having a pressure.
Nabiev feels a close relationship to 3 different countries, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, and Russia. His popularity is booming in all 3 of those countries. Now Harut's finally back on the back foot a little bit. Uppercut there from Grigorian.
Yeah, that was nice. He hasn't really thrown many of those, so now's his time to mix angles with his strikes.
It is open scoring, Joe, but it's very important that your corner takes a look at the screen to see where your fighter stands. You would hope that Nabiev's corner is telling him, listen, you're down 3 rounds to nothing.
Yeah, you would hope so. Regardless, it's a world title fight, whether you see the scores or not. No, it's a world title waiting at the end, so push it.
Left hand to the body for Nabiev, who's keeping his hands down, but that's not unusual for him.
Yep, now he's in the southpaw, trying to create some different offense.
A better round for Nabiev. Not sure he won it. With the welterweight championship of the world still up for grabs.
Let's see some of the action from Nabiev, what he did. There's that nice knee coming in. Came in aggressively. I still feel this is his best chance at winning this world title. He needs to really try to time those knees as Harut's coming in. That's what we need from him if he wants that world title. And that's what Grigorian's been working on, angling, creating angles, but he's showing a really relaxed pace now, and there's a lot of learning here because he can't rely on his power now. He's got to rely on his heart, his movement, and more accurate punches instead of just slugging.
Fifth round.
Nabiev trying to become the 5th welterweight champion in the last 18 months. He's got 3 minutes to do something dramatic here against Harut Grigorian. The judges, 4 of them give it to Grigorian, 1 to Nabiev. So it's a knockout or bust pretty much here for Alim Nabiev.
And as I keep mentioning, I think it's coming from those knees. He's not really doing too much damage with his boxing. Maybe mixing some kicks, some high kicks, but he needs to do something other than box.
Here's those knees you wanted, Joe. 20 of them for Nabiev. I haven't seen a ton of kicks from Nabiev either.
Oh, landed a good straight left, though. Now he's starting to use more angles.
Break! And Harut already glancing up at the clock. 2 minutes left between him and a title defense.
If I'm Nabiev here, I'm staying long and I'm using kicks on the outside and then mixing in some good knees, but I think that right hand may have hurt Grigorian.
He stood back like it did. A little bit off balance.
Nice hand pin from Nabiev to take that angle.
Does Nabiev, though, have the strength and the energy to close it? You see him scream there to try and wake himself up. 90 seconds left now. There's a knee from Harut.
And a solid left hand again from Nabiev.
Training in the mountains at 3,200 meters. Nabiev should be ready to go here in deep waters with 1:11 left. Another glance up for Grigorian at the clock.
I'm sure Grigorian's corner is telling him to move. Don't get into this kind of fight right now.
He doesn't know any better, Joe. He only knows one way. That is a slip. Fight! Harut's giving him the openings.
Yeah, it's there. Just Nabiev doesn't seem to have the energy or the power to do anything with it.
That right hand connects for Grigorian. He'd love a late knockout. And again, Harut connects. He's used to knocking everybody out, but this may go down as his best performance yet. A 5-round championship decision over the professor, Alim Nabiev. Doumbé couldn't figure him out. Holskin couldn't figure him out. But Harut Grigorian just dominated him in the biggest fight of his life.
And you got to think he's learned so much from this fight. He had to rely on other skills other than his power. So we're seeing that constant involvement of Harut Grigorian. So congratulations on Harut getting his first title defense.
If you'd have told most kickboxing observers that this would go the distance, 5 rounds, I believe most of them would have said, hey, Alim Nabiev got it.
Yeah, and we talk about styles making fights, and to beat that pressure style of Harut is to use angles, be unorthodox, but Harut's style and pressure was just too much for Nabiev.
We'll hear from the champ and the official decision when we return to Birmingham. We welcome you back to Birmingham, England, and highlights from our welterweight world title fight.
Yeah, very patient start for Harut, but started opening up when he found the opportunities. I really enjoyed how he came in and started attacking with punches and combinations. That's when he did most of his damage. Nabiev really tried working his knees, but just Harut's pressure and ability to throw those looping punches. Nabiev had to really respect that power. But Nabiev knew he was behind, so he kept coming forward. Harut Grigorian, though, doesn't back down. Sits there, keeps slugging those big round punches over and over again. Making Nabiev come to him, something we haven't seen from Grigorian, but definitely a lot of learning and a lot of potential we see in Harut being able to go 5 rounds.
Here are our final strike statistics. And Harut Grigorian landing more punches and kicks. He threw 317 strikes, Joe, landing 134.
Looking at the strikes by zone, as Harut Grigorian really focusing on the head punches and low kicks, where Nabiev, most of his damage happened from those knees up the middle.
Let's go into the ring now. And Tim
Ladies and
Hughes.
gentlemen, after 5 championship rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. Let's take a look at the totals. One judge has it 48-47. 2 judges score them out 49-46. The remaining 2 have it 50-45. All for your winner by unanimous decision. And still welterweight champion of the world, present the belt, our Managing Director of Sport, Mr. Cor Hemmers.
Harut, congratulations, and still. Now, your coach, Nikki, came up to me and told me that you guys have a message for everybody here. You're going to say it first in Armenian and then in English. So what message do you have?
This victory was for his country, Armenia, and for Artsakh, and he showed everybody that he is the real champ. We want everybody who's next. He's going to destroy the whole world. Harut Grigorian.
Harut, let's get back to this fight really quickly. I want to know, because everyone's talking about these knees that were so savage from your opponent. Were you ever hurt or worried at any point?
He says, I'm coming to fight, I don't come to play, these knees don't hurt me, I come to hurt the other people.
Looks like it. Congratulations, your champion, ladies and gentlemen.
A great relationship between Nicky Hemmers and his pupil, his prize pupil, his world champion pupil, Harut Grigorian, who defends his title for the very first time. Joe, who's up next for the champ in the welterweight division?
Well, there's a lot of interesting fights for him. Again, we can see, you know, another Doumbé fight could be good. I mean, Nikki Holtzkin again. Who knows? There's so many different fights that we can see coming up.
So Harut Grigorian improves to 48-11 overall.
Are you ready for glory?